Detergents clean our clothes. Disinfectants kill germs in our homes. For many Filipinos, wastewater is likely dispersed underground or is dumped directly into the environment without treatment. And once they go down the drain into our sewage systems and eventually into rivers, lakes, and oceans. The same chemicals that make them great cleaners can also make them powerful pollutants. Clean clothes, fresh scent, a feeling we trust every day, from washing clothes to cleaning our homes. Detergents and disinfectants are part of our daily lives. But what if the chemicals we use to clean don't just disappear? The cleaning power of detergents comes from molecules called surfactants, short for surface active agents, which are amphiphilic molecules, commonly represented as. This means its structure consists of a hydrophilic head and a hydrophobic tail, making it possible to interact with substances of different polarities. When the surfactants are in water, they form micelles. The hydrophobic tails interact with nonpolar substances and contain them within the spherical structure as the hydrophilic heads face outward. The micelle will continue flowing with the water, and this is how detergents transport particles and clean surfaces. Another type of cleaning agent are disinfectants. Let's talk specifically about bleach. It can break the conjugated systems and chromophores that allow absorption at higher wavelengths and cause a hypsochromic shift in the wavelengths absorbed until it shifts away from the visible spectrum. This happens through chlorination, where the nucleophilic pi bonds attack the partially positive and electrophilic chlorine in HOCl in aqueous medium. Another component of detergents are known as builders. This can be in the form of phosphates that bind with metal ions in hard water, which interfere with surfactants and bleach. As the phosphates dissolve in water, the ions remain chemically available in the water system. All of these reactions continue beyond household use, transforming cleaning chemicals into reactive species within natural waters. In the Philippines, there still exist massive communities without proper sewage, where all forms of wastewater enter ecosystems untreated. Remember those phosphates from a while ago? These phosphates, when released into streams and rivers, act as nutrients that accelerate algal growth. Phosphates are found in organisms, often integrated into their ATP, DNA, and phospholipids. As the algae grow, they prevent sunlight from passing through the water and inhibit photosynthetic processes in other aquatic plants. And as it dies off, its biomass is decomposed by bacteria, a process that consumes a significant portion of the dissolved oxygen in water. This is because ATP production is an oxidative biochemical pathway that powers bacterial metabolism. The sodium hypochlorite dissolved in water releases hydroxide ions, increasing water alkalinity that disrupt metabolic functions, especially enzyme functions in aquatic life, since certain amino acid residues are susceptible to acid base reactions. When that happens, the protein is denatured, effectively losing its function. In terms of detergents, the hydrophobic tail inserts itself into lipid bilayers, increasing membrane permeability, leaking cellular components, which consequently leads to cell death. This isn't ideal for maintaining a healthy ecosystem of microorganisms on places like microbes on fish gills and biofilms on rock surfaces. Hypochlorous acid is susceptible to homolytic cleavage to form radicals. These react with organic matter and start a chain of oxidative reactions to break down and chlorinate substances whose intermediates, like trihalomethanes, are toxic.
If these chemicals harm the environment, what can we do? Let's start by looking at one way we can actually solve the problem from a cure perspective. One big issue is that surfactants stick around in our wastewater, but there's a way to filter them out using something called biochar. Biochar is made by heating materials like wood, farm waste, or even manure at high temperatures in low oxygen conditions, a process also known as pyrolysis. What makes biochar really useful is how it attracts and holds on to these surfactants. It works with different types, whether they're positively charged, negatively charged, or neutral, by using natural forces that pull the molecules in and keep them attached through absorption. The second issue we need to deal with is phosphates. These can be removed using biological methods, specifically certain types of bacteria. One of the most important is Candidatus accumulibacter. These bacteria remove phosphates in two main stages. In the first stage, which happens without oxygen, they take in organic material from wastewater and turn it into compounds called volatile fatty acids, which are further reduced into polyhydroxyalkanoates, making it energetically denser. They then store this energy and, in the process, release phosphates into the water. In the second stage, when oxygen is available, the bacteria, through oxidation, use that stored energy. As they do this, they absorb the phosphates from the water, including the ones released earlier, effectively removing them from the system. The second approach that we can take is prevention. There are two main ways we can prevent laundry wastewater from accumulating. First is to use less. Most of the time, we use more detergent than needed. Use disinfectants only when necessary. Following the proper measurements reduces the amount of harmful chemicals being released into the environment. Second is to choose wisely. Choosing biodegradable and phosphate-free products will produce byproducts that are more environmentally friendly. Every action we take makes a difference. Together, we can protect not just our homes, but the environment we all rely on.